So here we are with Davy Todd. He's purpled the third sector as well. Sector 4 is from Moorish, the right-hand turn into Donna Maria and then down into Melco. So just went to see it and he's done it again. So this is a hot lap from Davy Todd. Purples all the way. Just trying to work out what it will be, but by the time I've done that, he'll have crossed the line anyway. So 224.9 is his best so far. There he goes across the line now. It should be inside that, and it is 223.8 for Davy Todd. 223.8. That is 0.2 of a second outside the outright lap record set by Stuart Easton back in 2010. So Davy Todd, and it looks like he's not letting up either. So 223.8. And he's been beaming really all week. He said he's so happy. The bike is set up pretty much the same as it was when he won the Southern 100 Championship back in July. He wants to end the year as the king of the roads. Had a first full year in the British Superbike Championship, and on a brand new BMW. However, they have to use certain suspension certain tyres and suspension settings, etc., to participate in the British Championship, and therefore, just a bit slow. He's purpled the second sector again, but so yeah, he goes back to the settings that he's happy with, that he doesn't have to use in but he's not allowed to use, I should say, in the British Championship. Just looking down, he's just going to be outside. So I think that 223.8 is going to maybe stick just a little bit longer. 2 seconds faster than Erno Costomo. So Todd, Costomo, Hickman, who effectively were the top 3 last year as well. Rob Hodson, Paul Jordan. I should be mentioning Mitch Reese a lot more because that is astounding. Row 2. As things stand for the Kiwi. Just trying to find out what the if Davy Todd is found guilty of speeding in pit lane, what the penalty is. So 25 minutes remain here at Macau, the Motorcycle Grand Prix. Oh, Davy Todd with a 223.5. So 223.5 for Davy Todd. So there is a yellow flag, and that's the reason why. So Maurizio Bottalico, another newcomer here at Macau. So that, I think, is at turn 3. Back on board with a very happy Davy Todd as things are standing right now. Qualifying and racing, of course, 2 different things. Michael Sweeney's still in the pits, by the way. They're still working, trying to get that bike right. Evo Johnson on bike number 20 on the Racing for Inclusion by RBS BMW. The Australian, as I mentioned earlier, was on the podium back in 2019. As things stand, he currently heads row 3. He's improved his times though. He's done a 229.8. He's inside 2.5 minutes. He's on the third row alongside Lucas Moura and Phil Crowe as things stand. So Costomo is back in. Yellow flag again at Lisboa. So there is a yellow flag at Lisboa. I'm guessing maybe someone has, like we saw with Bottolico, just looking for the perfect braking marker. And there we are. So yeah, Almeric Blanc is on his way once again. Meanwhile, back with Davo Johnson. He's getting this fast out of the apex. Here they are, the blast down towards Lisboa. Back with Davy Todd though, as he's coming around Mandarin. 2:23.4 by the way. So he's gone even quicker. 2:23.4. Glenn Irwin was doing very similar stuff when he raced back here when he won back in 2019. In fact, Davy Todd just backing off. So but 2:23.4, that's nearly 3 seconds faster than Costomo, he's back out, Costomo. No, he's still in, sorry. Costomo's, in fact, quite a few riders are in at the moment. Costomo, Hickman, Hodson, Jordan, Mitch Reese, Moura. Phil Crowe's just going back out. Sam West is in. Michael Evans is just going back out as well, along with Almeric Blanc, which we saw. Whitehall is in. Paul Williams is in. Michael Sweeney's still in. Poor old Michael Sweeney. Who is 14th fastest so far, the Belgian rider. Always interesting that Davy Todd and Peter Hickman. Todd elects to go with a Metzler. Peter Hickman happy with a Dunlop. So even though they're teammates, they both use different tyre manufacturers. Here is Lauren Hoffman looking to improve, and he has. He's up to 11th now, so he does a 2:32.2, so he goes up onto row number 4 alongside Bottolico and Sam West. It's quite impressive really from Bottolico as well, his first time here. He's done a 2:32. Italian rider, but 20 minutes to go, still a little bit of time, but that 2 minutes 23.4, 1/10 of a second outside the outright lap record. What has Peter Hickman got in terms of a response? 4 seconds between the pair at the moment. Sandwiched between them is Erno Costomo. And I suppose you'd expect to see Rob Hodson on row 2, certainly Paul Jordan on row 2. Would you expect to have seen Mitch Reese on row 2 though? No. David Johnson, by the way, is now up into 7th fastest. He's on the head of row number 3. And mention too for Don Gilbert, the other newcomer, 2:35.8. He's done more laps than anyone else, which as a newcomer you would suppose you would expect, as you want to learn as much as you can about the track. Interesting to see Lauren Hoffman just a little bit wider around Donna Maria than we saw Hickman. So it looks like quite a few riders are in at the moment. In fact, I think there's only around about 6 riders out on track with less than 20 minutes to go. Now then, Marcus Simpson, bike 23. So what does Marcus do? He was 14th fastest and he remains 14th fastest. Can't improve on his time, his second time here in Macau. But of course, after last year, could you really call that a full Macau Grand Prix last year? With only one proper session taking place, so they were really limited on track time last year. Ninth fastest, just ahead of Bottolico on the timing charts. Costomo has gone back out. Yeah, it's all very leisurely at the moment. Irwin, of course, was 2017, 2:23.0 was his qualifying time, which is inside Stuart Easton's lap record. Minutes remaining here, our motorcycle Grand Prix. We'll have the 50th anniversary in a couple of years' time. 60th anniversary, sorry, in a couple of years' time. 1967 was the first time motorcycles raced around Macau. So Costomo is out and looking to improve on 2:26.1. Phil Crow, his last lap was his fastest, as alongside Maurizio Bottolico. Michael Evans has improved his time as well. Aymeric Blanc has also gone a little bit quicker. Sam West is now back out on track. There is Bottolico, the Italian rider, 2:31.3, his best so far. Just getting an onboard picture there in the top left of your screen from Costomo as well. So. But so far, as he makes his way up over San Francisco and into maternity and through Teddy Yip, he's just improved on his second sector. So he'll be nowhere near, I say nowhere near, such that astounding time from Davy Todd, 2:23.4. Certainly he will be looking to shave a second or so off his best time so far, Erno Costomo. As long as you're on certainly the first two rows, and even row number 3 here in Macau, if you can get a good start and get down to Lisboa, you have a very good chance, on the opening lap of the race that is, then you have a very good chance of success here. Tend as well in the race not to see too many overtaking manoeuvres along this top part of the circuit. It drops back down here through Melco Hairpin, and there's a short blast down towards Fisherman's. This is good from Costomo. No Costomo on his way then, looking to improve. 2:26.1. He should be inside 2:26. He will be. There we go. Crosses the line now. Oh no, he's not. Knocks it back. It's 2:27 was his last one. So it was that first sector that did him. So he was just almost a second down. So he remains 2.7 seconds slower than Davy Todd, but a second, 1.2 seconds ahead of Peter Hickman. Back out as well, with less than 15 minutes to go of qualifying. The race will begin in around just under an hour and a half from now. some tyre changes going on, etc. The news from Costamo's camp, everything's good, just fueling the bike, changing tyres, etc. Davy Todd will, I would imagine, be going out soon. Hickman, they went out first, trying a new front tyre, scrub the rear in, change the rear, try another new rear. That was the plan. And they'll put a soft rear on that they'll raced on in the past that they know a lot about. So again, won't be panicking too much right now. So as things stand, it's Todd, Costamo and Hickman on row number 1, Hodson, Jordan and Rees still on row number 2, Johnson, Mora and Crow on row 3, Bartolico, Hoffman and West on row 4, Evans, Blanc, Simpson on row 5, Fair, Gilbert, Whitehall row 6. Michael Sweeney is back out. Good. Michael Sweeney is back out, so he's managed to get out. However, he's going to be very limited on time. So Sweeney, before the event, he would certainly, even though he's not had the greatest of results at Macau in the past, he certainly would have been hoping for a top 10 finish. In fact, from memory, I don't think he's actually finished inside the top 10. If he has, then I apologise, but I think he's not been inside the top 10 on his previous visits. Not that he's been here that many times, but Michael Sweeney is out on track. As things stand, he's at the back of the grid with Paul Williams. There's Sam West just coming down towards Fisherman's. Majority of this field with Superstock engines. Just the old Superbike here and there. Cosmo uses a Superbike engine. Peter Hickman's on the Superbike. Rob Hodson also on a Superbike. Sam West, who first came here back in 2015. And along with Davo Johnson and Peter Hickman, has been here 6 times before. This is his 7th visit to Macau. He finished in the top 10 back in 2023, having qualified 14th. So he's 11th as things stand on the qualifying table. In fact, I think this will be his best qualifying position if he can maintain 11th place. Yes, in fact, 14th, just going back through the records, 14th has been his best position so far, Sam West, so he's just done his fastest time as well, 2 minutes 31.7. Quite a few bikes now starting to go out with under 10 minutes remaining. Davy Todd is still in, by the way, but Peter Hickman is back out. Cosmo has just come in as well. Mitch Rees still holding on to 6th place, row number 2. Still also as well have that situation regarding speeding in pit lane for Davy Todd potentially, but we'll deal with that when it rears its head. So Hickman is now going a little bit quicker as well. Peter Hickman is just on his way up over San Francisco. In fact, he's beyond there now. He's just gone through Teddy Yip and he's making his way towards Payol. Sam West crosses the line and does his best lap, 2:31.2, and he just pushes Bortolico back a position on the qualifying leaderboard. So Sam West now 10th, which will be his fastest. And interesting to see Paul Jordan on the back of Peter Hickman. So Paul Jordan looking for a tow, and it's worked so far, because Paul Jordan is going to, if he can continue this, and if he can stay with Peter Hickman, as long as Peter Hickman doesn't slow, then Paul Jordan could be improving his best lap time so far. Hickman and Jordan both on sector 4. They do their best sector 4 time so far. So let's keep an eye on them. 2:27.3, 2:28.2, the best respectively for Hickman and Jordan. So Hickman looking to go inside 2:27.3. Crosses the line, does a 2:26.6 and a 2:26. In fact, Jordan goes quicker than Hickman. Jordan goes third, Hickman is fourth. So certainly Jordan worked that toe superbly. Jordan goes on to the front row. Peter Hickman goes back. David Johnson goes on to row number 2. Johnson with his fastest time so far, 2:26.8, just 0.2 of a second slower than Hickman and Jordan on that lap there. So, and Paul Jordan again. Fastest. Hickman again is not, it's very similar, and we're talking nths of a second once again, but yeah, Peter Hickman just not putting a green on that first sector. Jordan has. Todd and Costomo still in the pits, 6 minutes to go. But as it stands, it's Todd, Costomo and Jordan on the front row. Hickman, Johnson, Hodson on row number 2. I suspect, though, with just under 6 minutes to go now, it's not going to stay like that. Rob Hodson, Mitch Reese has been pushed back then to row number 3 alongside Moore and Crow. Is that job done for Davy Todd? So a new rear tyre for Erno as well. So I would imagine perhaps if it's all happy in Davy Todd's camp right now. Job done, 22:23.4. Someone's overshot at Lisboa. So, in fact, there he is. So Marcus Simpson just making his way back onto the track again. Cosmo, the new tyre, he's back out as well. So we are really in the sharp end now as Hickman crosses the line and he pushes Jordan back to row number 2. Hickman with a 2:26.3, 0.3 of a second faster than Paul Jordan. Paul Jordan, David Johnson does it, still on that 2:26.8. So David Johnson still in the middle of row number 2 alongside Rob Hodson. And I suppose, Sweeney's up to 12th, by the way. Great to see Michael Sweeney up into 12th place, getting the laps in, so he's improving. Paul Jordan, though, cruising, so it looks like a row 2 start for Paul Jordan. He'll be happy with that, Paul. In fact, if it stays that way, he qualified, last year was 6th. He was 7th back in 2023. So Paul Jordan on the row 2, having been on row 3 2 years ago. Unless, of course, David Johnson, Rob Hodson and Mitch Reese have got something to say. But Mitch Reese is in. Lucas Mora is in as well. Peter Hickman did do a fast first sector. In fact, Hickman is certainly one worth watching again now. 3 minutes to go, just across the top. He is just under 3 seconds off the best time of Davy Todd. In fact, with a glance around, you know that Peter Hickman is not going to improve. It looks as if it's going to be third fastest for Hickman, unless he's got something up his sleeve for the final circuit. Davy might do one more lap, possibly might do one more lap. That's the message I'm getting. So we'll keep an eye on whether Davy will just put one more lap in. Erno Costomo, in fact, our 3 Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix winners complete the front row as things stand at the moment. And I was going to say, if you were going to pick a top 6 before the event got underway for qualifying, pretty much is what you've got now, whether you'd have picked them in that order. What you may not have done is said Mitch Reese on row number 3. Incredible. So there we go, Hickman he's upping the ante. So let's keep an eye on Peter Hickman on the 810 BMW. Can we see, and it would be sensational, should Peter Hickman get a time inside 2 minutes 23.4. So his first sector time, as he comes down into Lisboa, is 24.6. So he's fast, but not fastest. He's gone faster. And look who's out. So yeah, Davy Todd is out. Said possibly one more lap, so they've got one more lap. Just keeping an eye on Hickman now. Oh, he's not. He's certainly, yeah, we saw that he's eased off, so 27.7. Costomo might improve on his time. So here he is, over the line, and it goes 2:25.7. So he goes quicker even still. Erno Costomo, 2.3 seconds the gap to Davy Todd. So Costomo with a 2:25.7. Just looking at Peter Hickman's times, he might threaten that. Peter Hickman might just threaten that. Costomo will also get another lap in, of course. That's someone at Lisboa. Just looking at different screens, trying to keep an eye on what's happening with Hickman's time as well. Whether he can go inside that 2:25.7. He's 0.6 of a second slower than Costomo as things stand at the moment. It's all bragging rights really, I suppose, but I suppose, again, it's better to be in the middle of the front row than on the outside of the front row. There is the checkered flag. So Erno Costomo, can he improve on that time as well? He is going quicker. He's certainly not going Davy Todd quick. He's going quicker than Hickman as things stand at the moment. Hickman goes second, 2:25.5, 2:25.5, 2.1 seconds outside Davy Todd. So Hickman will be on the middle of the front row unless Erno Costomo can do something about that. And I'm not sure, but there's the 2:8:10 racing riders. What a year it's been for them. Yeah, thumbs up from Peter Hickman, happy. Davy Todd, yeah, 1-2. But Costomo is still out on track. And Costomo nudged Peter Hickman back, and Costomo's improved his time. He's just gone quicker on sector 4 than Hickman did on that final lap. It's all eyes really on number 58, Davy Todd, with the stoppie, customary. But what has Costomo got? Just keeping an eye, there it is. Costomo, those greens on there. It's Hickman that he's going to threaten. So where is Erno Costomo? Crosses the line, and he goes second fastest, 2:25, half a second quicker than Hickman. Erno Costomo, well, we said 8:10 racing. have been dominating, or certainly their riders have dominated Macau in recent years, but Erno Cosmo has certainly given them something to think about. 225.0 from the Finn. As I called him, Erno, the fastest Finn in the East. So Paul Jordan, David Johnson, Rob Hodson on row number 2. Row 3, Mitch Reese, Phil Crow and Lucas Moura. Michael Evans putting in his fastest lap. Bottalico putting in his fastest lap at the end there as well. There on row 4 alongside Sam West, who in the end, he was up into 10th at one point. He's back down into 12th, but he's on row 4. Michael Sweeney will be on row number 5, alongside Lauren Hoffman and Almeric Blanc. Then it's Marcus Simpson, Eddie Fair and Don Gilbert. So there we go, a sensational end to what has been an incident-free session, thankfully, for the Macau Motorcycle Grand Prix qualifying. The race will take place